So great.
Welcome to the Dead-Celebs podcast with your hosts, Brent Novak and Tana Satterley.
All
For
right.
a complete list of all of the celebrities who died, please visit our Facebook page, the Dead-Celebs podcast.
Well, that went sort of like it was supposed to. How's that? Oh boy. All right. So welcome our guest host tonight. Her name is Deanna Miller. I've known Deanna for 20 years. She is a self-proclaimed social media and pop culture junkie who loves anything celebrity and true crime related. She has met many celebrities, working for 7 years for Fox Entertainment, and now manages an experimental marketing agency. Give it up for Miss Deanna Miller.
Yay! Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I know. I was saying earlier how I wish I would have been in last month because, you know, we had Richard Simmons and we could have talked about his dog Pitty Pat. And I don't know if you knew that, he had a dog named Pitty Pat, but I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
I know, I told you.
Who is caring for Pitty Pat?
That is a really good question. And I think that's something that I need to go figure out tonight when I do my late night internet rabbit hole. So I will look into that.
I would love to know. I would love to know who's watching that Pitty Pat.
I know. R.I.P.
R.I.P. All right. Tina, if you could, why don't you get us started on our first celebrity of the night?
Okay, sure. Her name is not Patty, but Betty. No. Are we starting with Betty or Patty?
Betty or Patty, Patty or Betty, Betty or Patty, please.
Are we starting at the top of the list or the bottom of the list?
I think she died first, did she not?
I have it in reverse chronological.
All right, let's go to Betty.
Oh,
yes. Betty. How's that?
Okay. Yes.
Oh,
so
look
fun.
At her.
Betty A. Bridges, a veteran guest actress in series like Good Times, Scrubs, and Hill Street Blues, and the mother of Diff'rent Strokes star Todd Bridges, died on August 29th. When she was starting out, Bridges played a memorable role on the infamous Good Time episode, The Nude, opposite Carl Weathers in 1975. Throughout her 40-year career, she acted alongside stars like George Clooney, Lee Grant, and Red Fox on series such as Dallas, The Bad News Bears, and Diff'rent Strokes. Later in life, Bridges founded the acting school Cambridge Academy and coached future stars, including Nia Long, Regina King, and Sanaa Lathan. She was 83.
Wow.
Interesting, right? Interesting. And I didn't know Betty. I never remember Betty, but obviously if anyone growing up in the 80s, Todd Bridges, her son, who's still one of the only people left from Diff'rent Strokes, I think, alive, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Gary Coleman, he's got a documentary out now, so I'm sure there's going to be some Todd Bridges cameos. But I mean, this poor woman had her handful with him growing up. I mean, he was just, she's a saint, you know, that she had such a good career. And then poor Todd Bridges too. I mean, he just had a rough go, but she turned out some great stars like Nia Long and Regina King. Sanaa Lathan. I mean, that's like cream of the crop. I mean, they're such amazing artists. So, you know, so.
Wow, Deanna, that's impressive.
I'm telling
you. Impressive at that. There you go. Well, rest in peace.
I know. Look at her smile. She's just.
That's a wonderful. I thought that was a wonderful picture. So
it is good choice.
And interestingly enough, we didn't have your husband on tonight, who's a big wrestling fan, and there's 3 wrestlers that passed away. I know. Yeah, but you're better looking. You're way better looking.
Thank you. I am.
Absolutely.
And basically, I'm a wrestling junkie adjacent. So you know,
nice.
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes.
All right. So up next we have wrestler. Let me grab his picture real quick. Find me understanding. Oh, Brent, so good. If anyone would like to volunteer their time as a producer, we would love to have you. Cool. All right.
Oh, look at that hair.
What a good-looking dude, huh? Yeah. Rub your fingers through.
Yeah.
That is a perm. That is so sweet.
Jerry curl.
Yeah.
Curls.
Is this Sid?
Sid Vicious, yeah. Sid Eudy, a pro wrestler and former WWE and WCW champ, also known for the monikers Sid Vicious, Sycho Sid, and Sid Justice, among others, has died. And all, Eudy as a 6-time world champion, counting among his wins 2 WWF Championships, 2 WCW World Heavyweight Championships, and 2 titles with the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championships. He's also had other accolades, including the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship title. He was 63. I don't know how he passed.
I didn't find that in my research.
Okay, I got it. It was cancer. It was the cancer. And you know what it was caused from? You're not going to believe it. Roundup weed killer.
How did they determine that?
I don't know. I just read it, and I saw a couple articles about it.
Oh my
goodness. I was like, that gosh darn Roundup, and all you see all the the lawsuits and stuff. But it said I think he had some other medical issues, but they attributed it to Roundup weed killer. So, but I mean, he's like a stallion. I mean, look at that belt. Yeah. And look at the perm and the blonde, the frosted tips. He was like just prime. He was prime.
You're making me drool.
I know.
Look at the curly.
Look at the curly mullet. I mean, it's like hot. Hot for the 80s.
It is hot. It's hot for any time of the year. Not for any time of the year. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful. So I gave my son a job, and it's to kill the weeds in the driveway, but we use vinegar. So now that I know this, I'm for sure using natural.
Yes. No chemicals. I know. I know.
Huh.
So good call. Or he can do it the old-fashioned way, and you could have him pull them.
No, it's like in those cracks, like.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the vinegar doesn't do the vinegar.
Otherwise.
Yes. Oh no, we have a comment that's saying that perms are coming back.
No.
That's scary. And
it is very scary.
But you know what? To each their own. Like, if you want a perm, get a perm.
Except don't let your kids get perms done by their babysitter. So my mom told me a story the other day that I was 3 years old. So back up, I was born a redhead, okay? Very thin hair, very light red blonde hair. And apparently my babysitter took me to get a perm, and my mother was like appalled, like it fried my hair. I was 3 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So don't
my gosh, no. Without written consent. Yeah.
Right? That was a very long time ago, though. Yeah, I'm not going to say how long.
Perms were cool for a bit, right?
Yes.
The thing to do in small town America.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Tana, who's next?
We have Phil Donahue, the legendary daytime talk show host. He died on August 18th. Renowned as the king of daytime talk, Donahue was a TV trailblazer due to his influential work on his issue-oriented program, The Phil Donahue Show, from 1967 to 1996. Unlike other talk shows of the era, Donahue's eponymous show focused on one guest or topic at a time for its entire hour, while inviting the audience to ask questions. For his debut episode, Donahue hosted atheist activist Madeline Murray O'Hare, who had worked to throw prayer out of public schools, a controversial choice that made for revolutionary TV. From there, Donahue didn't shy away from sensationalist or sensitive issues, often tackling those that other daytime TV shows wouldn't dare to touch, including incest, abortion, and homosexuality. Across his 29-year tenure, Donahue interviewed feminists, Ku Klux Klan members, heads of state, politicians, porn stars, and more. The show attracted a largely female audience and was held in high esteem for highlighting women's issues. While chatting with Oprah for O Magazine in 2002, Donahue said, "The show became a place where women discussed issues that didn't naturally come up, and certainly not in mixed company. Much of what we talked about on the air is what women had been talking about in ladies' rooms." He earned 9 Daytime Emmys and 21 nominations, as well as a Primetime Emmy for his special Donahue and Kids. He also received a Peabody Award in 1981. He was 88.
Good old Phil. Everybody must remember Phil, right? We're looking at 8 live viewers too. Our record is 13, and our 3
come
early.
on.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, share, subscribe. Let's go. Share it.
Who's got some stories on Phil?
So Phil, I remember somebody mentioned watching Phil during a school at home day. Like, I think I would come home and then put Phil on and like eat like a bag of chips and like some kind of sugary drink, like a Coke or Pepsi, not diet, definitely the real thing. And I would just like love every minute of the drama. Like, that was like the gateway to Ricky Lake, so like you watch Donahue and then you graduated to Ricky Lake when Ricky Lake came out, and Jerry Springer. But he was like hitting the hard issues, getting down to business.
We had like 12, 20, maybe 20 channels at its peak. Phil Donahue.
Yes.
There's so many talk shows, like back to back to back.
Yes. Yeah.
How did we handle that? That was you handled it with
joy.
A smile?
Yes. But I just always remember it was like chips, like Lay's, a soda, Donahue. It was like, oh my gosh. And he always was dressed nice. And he was a gentleman, and he was married to Marlo Thomas, and they had a love affair. Marlo Thomas, there it is, the shout out. And just America's sweethearts for the time. So for sure.
Fill up that salty head of hair. It's beautiful.
I know, look at him.
Yeah.
He's been gray for like 40, like literally 50 years.
Like
probably.
Steve Martin style. Right? And I honestly thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. It was a Mandela effect. Absolutely. When you sent me that he died already. I thought he died. Yeah. Totally thought he died.
A lot of that.
Last month.
Oh, Phil.
Surprise.
So there was one interesting bit of trivia that I found. Ooh. He lived across the street from Irma Bombeck in the early 70s in Centerfield, Ohio.
Ooh.
So like 2 famous people like in the 70s in Ohio. So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Huh. And she was definitely like the same era, like definitely an icon. That's and you know what?
Talking about actually
Irma Bombeck, she was kind of like a writer, and she
comedian, maybe.
Comedian, and then she would write like, I want to say there's some things out there that are like that would circulate for a while on I don't know, just like a lighthearted take on like parenting or something. It would be written by Irma Bombeck. Like, she had stuff like that. And I want to say she like had like a segment, I know, again, in like Good Housekeeping magazine or something. But it does make sense that they're from Ohio. Like, Ohio people are like salt of the earth. And it's like Irma and Phil, same street, Ohio. It completely makes sense.
Wait a second. Come on. You live in Charleston. Half the people that move here are from Ohio. There's
I know.
Bumper stickers here that say, Ohio, go home. Like,
I know. And you
know
what?
Myrtle Beach?
Well, Myrtle Beach has a lot of Ohio, but we have a lot lot of West Virginia, consequently, that's where I'm from. So
that's true.
West Virginia,
a little closer.
I don't have much. I don't have much room to talk. So
I like Ohio people too.
Here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I was born in Ohio.
Oh,
I was raised.
Go home.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
That's
all right.
sweet.
You're well, I mean, I'm talking like I need to accept you, like I'm a native myself. I'm like, we'll accept you,
Yeah,
but we're in the same boat. We're in the same boat.
A transplant.
We're all
Transplant.
transplants.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah,
transplants.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving. Tiana, I'm going to read Angel, and I do not have his trivia with me. So,
Okay.
So if there is trivia on Angel,
yes, I will let you know.
Help me. All right, here we go. Takes up my screen. Angel Salazar, an actor and comedian best known for playing sidekick to Al Pacino's in Scarface. Scarface died August 11th. After Scarface, the Cuban-American star would go on to play alongside Tom Hanks in the 1988 comedy Punchline, before once more working with both Pacino and director Brian De Palma for the 1993 crime film Carlito's Way. Excellent film. Others film roles included Sylvester, Where the Buffalo Roam, A Stranger is Watching, The Wildlife, and more. On the television side, he appeared on the shows On Your Own, The New Streets with a Z, Series with a Z, Jersey Mafia Chronicles, and in Living Color. In addition to his talents as an actor, Salazar also an accomplished comedian, appearing in the 2006 documentary Latin Legends of Comedy, among other comedy specials. Sorry. He was only 68.
Oh, such a shame.
It is a shame.
So the interesting trivia on Angel was he obviously was a comedian. Well, he opened for the Beach Boys. He opened for Billy Ocean, Whitney Houston, Van Halen, and the Miami Sound Machine. So that's some pretty big, Beach Boys and Whitney Houston. I mean,
Whitney Houston especially. I've never seen a comedian before a concert.
Right? I thought that was strange. I had to go back and look at that again, but okay. But he was also known for Check It Out or Check It Out before, during, and after his jokes. So that was like
that was his punchline? Yeah.
Check it out. Check it out.
Okay.
I'm going to start saying that now. Hey, Brent, check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
I'm not going to pay attention to that, Hannah. I'm going to let that die as fast as I can. Yes. Check it out. Hey, Brent, check it out. Try it on your husband and see how long that lasts.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep on moving. Who's next?
Rachel Lillis. She is an actress who lent her vocal talents to a wide variety of characters in anime series, movies, and video games, including Pokemon's Misty and Jessie. She died on August 10th after a battle with cancer. Lillis also provided the calls, grunts, and various noises of the popular Pokemon, Vulpix, Venonat, Goldeen, and Jigglypuff. In addition to Pokemon the series, she also voiced Jigglypuff in the 2019 film Detective Pikachu and 5 games in the Super Smash Bros. Video game franchise. Other credits to Lillis's name include Your Lie in April, Berserk, Gokudo, Sonic X, Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, animated series such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Winx Club, and video games like Valkyrie Profile, Pac-Man, and the Ghostly Adventures, and Lego Jurassic World. In the early 2000s, she also worked as a scriptwriter on Boogie Pop Phantom and K.O. Beast. She was 46.
Gosh, too young.
I know.
And all that, it sounded like I had no idea what you're talking about.
Over my head, yes.
Yeah. That's just all I hear. It's like a bad day.
Jigglypuff.
That's all I remember is Jingle Puff. Jingle Puff.
Yeah. And Boogie Pop.
Boogie Pop. I think I'm gonna use that. What's up, Boogie Pop and Jingle Puff?
Yeah. Check it out, Boogie Pop.
I think that's the Miller's new nickname. Jingle Pop and I forgot what was it? Jingle Pop and what?
Bubbly, What
is it?
Jigglypuff?
Jigglypuff. Yes.
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff.
I think it's the cute little pink one on the screen. So that's Jigglypuff.
Oh, okay.
So cute. I know. I know.
Well, interestingly,
yeah.
What
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's okay. She trained as an opera singer before she became a voice actor. And she also played the Irish flute. And she never met one of her co-stars in Utina. The co-star was Sharon Becker. She never met her. So I guess doing this voice stuff, it's very possible. I mean, it was months before Brent and I met. So it makes sense when you're doing stuff like this. But
you just never know. So somebody out of these 8 people watching us might be a celebrity or like a talent agent, right?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I'm just always fascinated by voice actors in general. You know, people that can just because I mean, let's face it, we've probably all walked around the house at one time in our life and done a voice and said, "This could be a character." And you practice and you're like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And you're like, "Oh, it's the old guy on the boat," you know. And then the next day you're like, "What was that voice I tried to do yesterday?" And it's like you forget it. So I am fascinated by people who do the voice and then they can just pick it up the next time. And then to be able to do 3 or like some of the Simpsons actors, just, can be one person, can be Bart and can be somebody else. And it's like, how do you just turn it on and turn it off? So,
I mean, if you see a Steph MacFarlane interview, that's down. All right, we're gonna move on. The dog's like, move on. Let's move on. Next one. All right, so I am up. We got who's
yeah, sorry, my attack dog was a little Sycho, but she's out, so she's got to be with me at all times until she's bad, and then she goes away.
That's sweet.
Yes.
Send her. Hey, we're up to 11. Oh, we were up to 11 viewers. We were so close. 13 is a record. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Now, John Apria. You might not know John, but I guarantee you're going to know one of his kids who portrayed young Sylvester Teso in Godfather Part 2 and the father of John Stamos, the actor from Full House. He died August 5th. Born in Italian immigrants in New Jersey, Apria made his film debut as Killer in the 1968 action pick Bullet, which also starred Steve McQueen. He would next appear in The Grasshopper and The Dark Side of Tomorrow, and around the same time auditioned for the role of Michael Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. The role went to Al Pacino, who played the part in the 1972 film and its sequels. But Apria eventually joined the critically acclaimed trilogy for Godfather Part 2 as a younger version of Tessio, the mobster originally portrayed by Abe Vigoda. Apria considered the highly regarded film, which won 6 Oscars and became the first sequel to win Best Picture, a monumental role for him. He went on to lead the short-lived NBC sitcom The Montefuscos and had dual roles in Another World. Oh, he played 2 characters in the soap opera Another World. Apria also appeared in Falcon Crest, great 80s nighttime drama. The Sopranos, Days of Our Lives, the telenovela. Thank you. Telenovela American Harris, and the acclaimed NBC miniseries The Gangster Chronicles. On the big screen, Apria found further success in films including Caged Heat, The Manchurian Candidate, The Stepford Wives, and David Fincher's The Game, and more. He was 83.
I mean, first of all, Falcon Crest. 1987, Friday night after Knots Landing. Oh, wait, was he Knots Landing or Falcon Crest?
Falcon Crest, yeah.
Okay, Falcon Crest.
Yeah.
And I would curl up in my mom's bed and I would like watch this stuff like I was a 42-year-old woman. So like he's like iconic. Yes, like I love him.
And as a young man, I shut that off once Dukes of Hazzard was off. I'm like, I'm done. Yeah. None of this. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, loved it. It was just such a good drama.
One interesting thing about The Godfather Part 2, all of his lines in the picture were spoken in Italian.
Oh.
That impressed
really?
me. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know. Yeah. And it's cool too, because you think about The Godfather and they started out with this like amazing cast, to be able to like be brought into like be brought into, you know, and already with an established iconic cast and be a new character, you know, it says a lot about you know, him and his abilities and stuff. And but cool. But Full House, I mean, like iconic.
Yeah,
and he's another iconic role. Yeah,
John Stamos is touring with the Beach Boys, or was, and so my sister wanted to see I think I have a sister on here, but my other sister went and saw the Beach Boys somewhere, and Stamos was playing, so that's a big reason why she wants to see him.
Oh, wow,
interesting.
There you go.
Kokomo, little, you know, way down in Kokomo.
All right, the place you want to go, Kokomo. Did you say Kokomo? Did you say Pocomo?
Kokomo. No, Kokomo. Kokomo.
I said Pocomo.
Yes. No.
All right, Tana, who's next?
Up next, we have Maurice Williams. He was the frontman of the doo-wop group The Zodiacs and singer-songwriter behind their 1960 hit song, Stay. He died on August 6th. Born in Lancaster, South Carolina, Williams, began performing in church at the age of 6 and formed his first group, the Royal Charms, during his high school years. That group went through several names and reformed before Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs. They achieved their first hit in 1957 with Little Darlin', but it was later their 1960 track, Stay, that cemented them in music history. The song topped the Billboard Hot 100, becoming the shortest song to ever do so at just 1 minute and 32 seconds. It later featured in the 1987 classic Dirty Dancing, starring Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, and was frequently covered by such artists as the Hollies and the Four Seasons, Jackson Browne, Bruce Springsteen, and Tom Petty. Following their massive success with Stay, the group also enjoyed successes with their 1961 hit May I, and they continued touring and recorded music through 2000. Williams is survived by his wife, Emily, and he was 86.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of great songs. Especially that Dirty Dancing song. Like, who didn't have that soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. I was going to say he was inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame in 2010. He actually died in North Carolina, so I think that's where he was living.
Gotcha.
So
that song, like that whole soundtrack, it was like it really kind of unleashed a new, like an old era of music, and really brought kind of like Righteous Brothers and Top Gun. It was like Dirty Dancing, and then all of these songs that you know, just kind of were revitalized and then re-released. And so, you know, for someone as old as he was when Dirty Dancing came out as well, you know, to have that hit and then have it brought back, I mean, that's got to be really cool. Just, you know, it's all you want to do is sing, and to have it come back like that, it's amazing.
And come back that strong too. Wow.
Really I know.
Yeah.
Sweetie.
All right. Let me get the next picture up. We have another wrestler. Wow. Three wrestlers. How about that?
Yeah.
I know.
Many wrestlers.
It's a sad month for the wrestling community.
I know. Gosh. You better hold your hubby tight tonight. He told me to say that. No, I'm just
kidding. as he rocks in bed, reading all of his, you know, WWE updates, you know, and you know, mourns the loss of the great Samoan. So
I think Thad should actually do this for. He should do this for Halloween. That'd be a good character for him, right?
No, because you know what? He wears his Halloween costumes like for the rest of the year. So I would have to look at this. Like he would pull it out and he'd be like, I'm going to be the Samoan today, and it's a random Saturday. So yes, so he loves a costume.
I love that.
Yes.
This
would be an easy one for him to make, for us to make.
Yeah, it is, right? Just mostly wig.
Yep.
Mostly wig.
Yeah. Yeah.
Afa Anoa'i, WWE wrestler who competed with his late brother Sycho Anoa'i as a tag team Wild Samoans in the 70s and 80s, died on August 16th. His daughter Valley announced the news on social media just 2 months after Syko's death. Today, all our lives are irreparably changed, she wrote. I love you so much, Dad. More than any words have ever expressed. Your strength was absolutely superhuman. You fought all the way to the end, and the end was peaceful. She noted that he had suffered 2 heart attacks in January, among other health issues.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and had been in hospice care in his wrestling days. Anoa'i was a force. He and his brother won the World Tag Team Championship 3 times and were inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007. 3 times. Later, he contributed to the WWE by managing his son and nephew, then by training future wrestlers. The WWE lamented his loss, remembering his tag team as one of the most feared in WWE history. Among his survivors is wrestler Roman Reigns. What? I don't even know who that is. Sycho. That's Syko's son. Okay, great.
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
Keep reading. He was 81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy that his brother died just 2 months prior to him.
Yeah.
Like, they say, like, you're heartbroken and, it's like in failing health. It's like, they went together as they did in life, as they did in the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
So,
they did. We actually, I remember talking about him, the brother, just a while ago.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
Aww.
Yeah. So crazy. Interesting trivia. He joined the Marines at age 17.
Oh, wow.
He was a Marine. He doesn't
also give me that vibe.
No. And this, I couldn't find out much more, but he was a member of the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, well, interesting.
Yeah. And this I thought was interesting. So when he was young, his family relocated from Leon, American Samoa, to San Francisco, California, where his father established the first Congregational Christian Church of American Samoa.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
A pioneer.
Yeah.
That is interesting. All right, Tana.
Okay.
Who is next? This is a big part of my childhood coming up.
Sure. Oh. So, Peter Marshall, the original host of Hollywood Squares and a prolific actor on series like Chips and The Love Boat, died on August 15th. Marshall's death was announced via a post on his official website, which noted, according to his wife of 35 years, Laurie, Peter passed at home surrounded by loved ones. Marshall followed his sister, the actress Joanne Drew, Red River, to New York City in the late 1940s, where he worked as an NBC page, took his comedy act to the Ed Sullivan Show, and won starring roles in theatrical productions like Bye Bye Birdie. Marshall was asked to host the inaugural edition of Hollywood Squares in 1966 and presided over the series as it made stars out of the likes of Paul Lynde, Joan Rivers, and Charo until 1981. Marshall also made a memorable appearance as the radio jockey Bert Healy in the 1982's Annie. Marshall is survived by his wife Laurie, daughters Suzanne Browning and Jamie DeMarco, son Pete Lecoq, 12 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren. He was 98.
Wow, 98.
So,
yeah.
He, his given name at birth was Ralph Pierre Lecoq. And early on in his career, a studio said, I'm sorry, but we cannot have somebody with that last name. So he changed it.
Well, and glad he did. It was a good call. It was a good call on their part.
Yeah.
But look at him. He is just demure. He is mindful with that outfit on and that white turtleneck and that blue blazer. I mean, sharp as a tack.
Yes.
And thanks to him and this show, we now see this on RuPaul's Drag Race. They do a Hollywood Squares on RuPaul's. So I know. Isn't that amazing?
Some of the most entertaining television in the 1970s, 80s comes out of Hollywood Squares. Like if you ever want to like have a drink and listen to these crazies, it's pretty fun.
So a couple of bits of interesting trivia. He was about to sign a movie contract with 20th Century Fox in 1944 when he was drafted into the Army. He was sent to Italy, where he wound up broadcasting from a 50,000-watt Army radio station outside of Naples. Also, his parents put him in dancing school when he was 3 years old.
Good for him.
Yeah. His mother... Yeah, so his mother was president of the Motion Picture Mothers from 1975 to 1976. She was an aspiring costume designer, and she worked at Macy's. So I didn't even know that existed. Motion Picture Mothers. How cool.
I wonder if that's like the old-fashioned like motion picture helicopter parent. You know, where it's like you're part of it and you're like watching over what your actor child is doing. Yes, right?
Like.
I think of it like a den mom or something. Right. I don't know.
But if you were to ask me what a profession a man with the last name Lecoq would do, I would definitely say dancer. So that all tracks.
I wouldn't.
All, you know,
I wouldn't. I'd say
kind of dancer.
A certain kind of dancer. I mean, like Magic Mike. I mean, you know,
that kind of dancer.
Yeah.
Lecoq. How can you even?
Lecoq.
I'd have changed that for sure.
Pete.
For sure. All right. Well, we're moving on to Mr. Jack Russell.
Oh, this one hurts.
Well, does it really? I don't know if I knew who it was.
Oh, well, it's just.
Oh yes, Jack Russell from Great White. Yeah. Okay,
that hurts. Little, you know,
Jack Russell, a founding member of the hair rock band Great White, who rose to fame in the 1980s with the biggest hit, Once Bitten, Twice Shy, has died on August 15th. The frontman's family announced his death on social media a month after Russell shared that he had been diagnosed with Lewy body dementia, the same thing that killed Robin Williams.
Right.
And multiple symptoms atrophy. Though band members parted ways in 2001, Russell continued to perform under the name Jack Russell's Great White, prompting a legal battle. This iteration of the group was moments from the performance at Station Nightclub in West Warwick, Rhode Island in 2003 when the pyrotechnics sparked a fire. When it was over, 100 people had died, including guitarist Ty Longley, and 203 people were injured. While Russell was not charged in the death, the band paid victims $1 million. At the same time, he announced the news about his health. Russell had said he was retiring from touring. Words cannot express my gratitude for the many years of memories, love, and support, he wrote. Thank you for letting me live my dreams. He was only 63. Yeah, go ahead, Dana.
Okay, so sad, and this happens sometimes. I think I heard that he had retired and then died like a month later, which is like sucks because you like retire, you know, and then it's like you want to live out your life and it's like, oh, you're dead a month later. But okay, so I totally had forgotten about the fire, and that was tragic. And I guess the good news is being in like events, it really changed the landscape of like how events are occurring and like stage pyrotechnics and stuff like that. So that's, you know, one good thing that came out of it is more safety. Okay. But I'll tell you what, that video with his bangs and his long hair and those tight jeans, I was not attracted to him because I didn't understand it at the time. But oh my gosh, if that is an 80s in just a nice, neat little package. Jack Russell sitting with his back up against like a car and tapping his foot.
In those tight pants, that kind of package?
Tight jeans. Yes.
Yeah, in that little package.
Yes. But he had like bangs. He had like a girl haircut, but he was like a rocker. He was like, I mean, they all did, I guess, but his was like very flat. So it was almost, yes. He could have maybe have used a perm. Like that would have been a man I would have suggested it to. But look at him here. He's got like the Bret Michaels bandana. He is like just living. This should be his photo on his program for his funeral, because this is saying best life ever. I had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm once bitten, twice shy. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. A little Bret Michaels vibe with that bandana, but I think they do that when they're losing their hair. Yeah.
Oh.
But he's all rocker. Look at him.
Yeah, for sure.
He actually looks better here than he did in the 80s. I'll be honest, but that's just my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
what
a bummer.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Jack Russell.
R.I.P. is right. Yeah, that's interesting. And this one hit me a little. I kind of like Mr. Greg.
Yeah. So up next, Greg Kihn.
Mm-hmm.
He was a singer-songwriter who scored big with his early MTV era hits, The Breakup Song, They Don't Write 'Em, and Jeopardy! He died on August 13th of complications from Alzheimer's. Born Gregory Stanley Kihn in Baltimore on July 10th, 1949, Kihn initially began his career in his hometown, playing music of the folksy singer-songwriter variety before relocating to San Francisco in the early 70s. There he would gain acclaim for his unique blend of folk, classic rock, blues, and melodic pop that would heavily influence the Bay Area music scene of the 80s. By 1976, Kihn formed the Greg Kihn Band alongside guitarist Robbie Dunbar, bassist Steve Wright, and drummer Larry Lynch. The group released several albums together, scoring their first hit with The Breakup Song, which got to number 15 on the Hot 100 in May of 1981. The group reached new heights with the release of their 1983 track Jeopardy, which became an MTV favorite, hit number 2 on the Hot 100, and inspired the parody song from Weird Al Yankovic, I Lost on Jeopardy!
Yes.
He also published several horror novels and served as a morning radio host on the San Jose, California-based station KUFX FM for nearly 2 decades. He was 75.
Aww.
Yeah. I would have liked to see Greg.
Yeah. And the one bit of trivia I had was he did some charity work for Operation Care and Comfort. It was a military support group responsible for sending care packages to hundreds of military units deployed in harm's way around the world. He was nominated for the 2010 Man of the Year Award by the Lymphoma Society and performed for Children's Hospital in Oakland, California in the fight against cancer. So he was a philanthropist.
Wow. Aww, doing good.
Yeah. That was a great part of the 80s. And
I know.
The Weird Al song was too. So.
Yeah.
I know. I lost on Jeopardy. I love it. Yeah.
Weird Al. Weird Al is
I was gonna say for artists, I feel like you've made it when Weird Al covers you.
They used to do that. Like they used to say that was a big deal. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
And wasn't it Prince who said he wasn't allowed to cover any of his songs? I think so.
Madonna only let him do one, right? Didn't we cover that in the Prince?
Yeah, I think we did.
Prince said no.
Yeah, he said nope.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Prince had so many quirks too. He was like real quirky and like, but that's funny. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could picture him doing like When Doves Cry, Weird Al, like sitting in the bathtub with his long hair. And
I think he parody like one of the videos. I think he did.
Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I want it because I've seen it.
Right. I think.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Another rabbit hole to go down tonight before bed. I'm so excited. Yes.
You're never going to sleep.
I'm never going to sleep.
Never.
And I'm definitely not going to sleep after looking at this photo.
Yeah, look at that.
Woo!
Kevin Sullivan.
Another
Hey, another wrestler.
Our final wrestler of the night. We're down to 4 celebrities left, and we'll go through them as best we can. Kevin Sullivan, the wrestling icon, who performed as a taskmaster and worked extensively behind the scenes for WCW, died on August 9th. The cause of death was not immediately released. However, Sullivan was involved in a devastating accident in Florida on May 12th. He was diagnosed with sepsis and encephalitis. Yes, after undergoing emergency surgery. As a wrestler with the WCW, Sullivan teamed with Cactus Jack to win tag team title before he formed the 3 Faces of Fear with Avalanche and the Butcher to feud with Hulk Hogan, Sting, and Randy Savage. Wow, that's a royalty. After that, Sullivan became the Taskmaster and formed the Dungeons of Doom, who faced off against Hogan's Hulkamaniacs during War Games and feuded with the 4 Horsemen. At the end of his wrestling career, he feuded extensively with Chris Bonet, ultimately losing a retirement match to him in 1997. Sullivan spent the rest of his career as a booker and made occasional appearances for independent promotions. His podcast, Taskmaster Talks, has run since 2020. He was 74. Yeah, bumsers.
Yeah.
So in 1996, he appeared on an episode of Baywatch as himself.
No.
Yeah.
And that has a documentary out right now too. It's getting, kind of a second chance. But again, I didn't know that. I mean, some of these old, celebrities or the wrestlers from back in the day and crossed over into some of these, primetime shows was such a thing in like the 80s and the 90s. So I did see on him, which I thought was fascinating, is that they had a GoFundMe set up for him, just to kind of help with the expenses. It raised over $54,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so that wrestling community comes together, but $54,000. I thought that was like
great.
I was like looked at it and I'm like, oh, how much? And I'm like, oh, okay, well that was hopefully that helped the family out, but but I know. All these wrestlers have so many health issues.
Right.
right.
And they don't really make that much money unless you're the big ones,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They do it because they love it.
Do it because they love it.
Do it because they love it.
Hannah, who's up next?
Up next is Mitsy Mcall, the comedian and actress who famously shared the Ed Sullivan Show stage with the Beatles and indelibly played a dry cleaner's wife with the boundary issues on Seinfeld. She died on August 8th. She formed a comedy duo with her husband, Charlie Brill, who appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show on the night that the Fab Four first performed on an American stage. Her best remembered acting role came in the 1994 Seinfeld episode, The Secretary, wherein Jerry Seinfeld accosts her character, a dry cleaner's wife, for wearing his mother's fur coat. In addition to recurring roles on Silk Stockings, All Right Already, and Life Goes On, McCall appeared in episodes of shows like The Twilight Zone, The Tonight Show, Scooby-Doo, Roseanne, Ellen, Becker, Chuck, Hannah Montana, and The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. She was only 5 foot tall.
Wow.
I'm going to go right into the trivia here. Oh, by the way, she was 93. So she lived a very full life.
Yes.
Nice life.
And her given name was Mitzi Steiner. And I guess she didn't like that. So she adopted her stage name from the McCall's magazine. So Mitsy Mcall. I know.
So cute. Who'd have known?
Yeah. And her goddaughter is Melissa Gilbert.
Oh, no way. Yeah. From Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, Melissa Gilbert.
Yeah. So,
well, she's cute.
She was. And she was also a staple too. Like you put on the Game Show Network. She's usually one of the guests on there too. So
yeah. And life goes on. I mean, talk about like making it in the 90s, like Becca and Corky. to be on that show. Oh my gosh.
Becca died recently too.
No, wait, she did?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a little thing on her.
Yeah. R.I.P.
I know.
Oh, well, now I'm depressed.
Don't be.
None of the other actors or none of the other people did it for me, but it's Becca.
Becca
did it for me.
Right?
Becca's just put me over the edge. But
I know.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But yeah, she did a lot.
Gosh,
she did quite a career. Somebody I never heard of, but quite a career.
Yeah. Oh,
up next, who do we have, Brent?
Honey Shayame. That's probably not right. What do you think? Anybody?
Shium.
Or it could be like Chim.
Yeah.
Chim.
Yeah.
The trailblazing South African actress who broke through apartheid barriers and starred in the Black Panther films died on August 6th. Her family announced the news on social media, stating that Chayum passed after a period of illness. She became widely known to audiences around the world after appearing on as Zawarvare, the leader of the distinguished Wakandian mining tribe and a member of the Wakanda Tribal Council in 2018's Black Panther. But by then, Chayum was already in the fourth decade in her acting career, which followed a full tenure as teacher in Johannesburg. She rose to fame in 1989 on the popular TV series Akolm Adwa Yadwa. Popular to who? I don't know, but somebody thinks that's a popular show. Never heard of it.
In Africa.
It is, I guess, yeah. As apartheid was dismantled around her, her star grew, leading her to award-winning roles in series like Soul City and Home Affairs, and films like My Country, co-starring Samuel L. Jackson and Juliette Binoche. Binoche, thank you.
Binoche.
She also appeared in Beyonce's 2020 film Black is King, and in more than 100 episodes of the popular South African TV series Rhythm City as the matriarch, Mamokiti Kus. Yeah, she was 70 too, right? Right? How about that?
Good job, Brent.
Great job. That was a 100-word tongue twister. Wow. That you just got through. So great job.
Gosh.
Great job.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got through it. Oh,
wow.
Man. Yeah.
It's crazy because you had Chadwick Boseman who passed and, tragic young death. And then, it just, I'm sure there's nothing correlated, but just, people that work in that franchise, just a sad loss.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
And she is glorious. Look at this outfit and this hat.
I love it.
Oh, I mean, just sunshine.
Oozes.
So the only trivia that I could find was in 1977, she left South Africa to become part of a touring musical group, visiting Greece and Israel. While living abroad, she also appeared in productions of Porky and Bess and The Little Shop of Horrors, according to South Africa's Ministry of Sport, Arts, and Culture. So,
fantastic.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we have one more celebrity to finish out the night.
Yes.
Big finale.
Big finale. And who is this young lady?
Almost didn't make the cut because
she almost didn't make the cut. And I said, you know what? Let's add her.
Let's add her. I'm sorry, Patty.
Patty.
Yes. Yasutake.
Yes.
Patty Yasutake, the stage and screen actress best known for her roles as Alyssa Agawa in the Star Trek franchise and Fumi Nakai on Beef, died on August 5th from cancer, a rare form of T-cell lymphoma. An East-West Players alum, Yasutake made her feature film debut in Ron Howard's 1986 comedy Gung Ho, reprising her role in the short-lived ABC sitcom sequel of the same name before making guest spots on TV shows like Take 5, Mr. Belvedere, Murphy Brown, and Picket Fences. Her most memorable role came as Nurse Alyssa Ogawa in the 1990s series Star Trek: The Next Generation, which she would reprise for 1994's Star Trek Generations and 1996's Star Trek First Contact. Other credits include films Drop Dead Gorgeous and The Wash, and shows such as Grey's Anatomy, Cold Case, Bones, and The Young and the Restless. Yasutake's final role was as Fumi Nakai, the domineering mother of Joseph Lee's George on the acclaimed series Beef, starring Ali Wong and Stephen Yoon. She was 70. Yeah.
Bummer.
I know.
I never really watched. I didn't know who she was, but
yeah,
she did a lot. In fact, this trivia I thought was so interesting. Okay. She has over 60 acting credits, according to IMDb, for various roles in film and television. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah.
And Drop Dead Gorgeous is one of my favorite movies, like hands down. That's just iconic. It's amazing. And I guess it's this time too, where like I'm seeing a lot of these, 80s sitcom people, 80s talk show people. And it's kind of like, I guess this is kind of the time, like the lifespan. It's just kind of eye-opening that this is like, you see a lot of people like that, when you're talking about some people that have passed away.
Because we're getting older as well.
Yes, I know. Yeah. It's like, I know. No, I'm forever 28. I'm 28 forever. But no, she did. Yeah, she did a lot. And have you all seen Beef, the show Beef?
I have not.
No, I haven't either. It's been on my list because it won so many awards, but but I haven't seen it, so it's on my list.
Well, just a couple of quick trivia. She worked as the administrative director of the Howard Fine Acting Studio for a couple of years. She was nominated for an Independent Spirit Award for Best Supporting Female in 1988 for her role in The Wash. And lastly, I thought this was cool. In January of 2009, Diamond Select Toys released a 7-inch action figure in her likeness of her character, Nurse Alyssa Ogawa. So, Patty.
Look at that.
Very cool.
Patty. Very cool. Patty.
Well, I'm glad we were able to highlight her, and give her the glory that she deserves.
Yeah. Yep. Otherwise, we would have missed out on that little bit of trivia from her too. Right? Well, we're winding down. Nice night, Deanna. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You satisfied my little pop culture heart. So, thank you so much.
Yes.
We'll have you on again. I think that would be good. Why not?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
If you want to put your information out there. If you don't, that's okay too. I should have asked you, do you want anyone to contact you? Up to you.
Yeah, well, I am just so famous, and you can find all of my content at Deanna Rehab Miller on Instagram.
Nice.
And it's full of family photos and dog videos set to stupid music. So if you like that kind of thing, come find me.
I do. I'll find you.
Yes, come find me.
I can't thank you enough. Seriously. Dan, how do people get a hold of you?
You can email me at Tana, Tana, at dead-celebs.com.
Yeah, and I'm Brent at dead-celebs.com. Tell your friends on the rewatch. Give it a try, like it, subscribe, do all those things. We're going to play a little outro video. Don't go anywhere. We want to say goodbye, the three of us. So hold on until after this.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Check out our sister podcast, Talk Murder to Me. Step into the captivating world of true crime with an unexpected twist of humor. With John's compelling narrative and Jen and Nicole's amazing banter, this podcast offers an entertaining and unique approach to true crime storytelling. Talk Murder to Me can be found on any podcast platform, also streaming live Saturdays on YouTube. For a legal disclaimer, please visit www.dead-celebs.com. The Actor Factor brings the industry knowledge to you firsthand from professionals, including working actors, directors, managers, and more. Find it anywhere podcasts are streamed.
If you are struggling with thoughts of suicide, please reach out. Help is available. Dial 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.